Hi, I'm Loydeen.
And I'm Heidi.
And we are
the U-Haulers.
Heidi.
What?
So, what's been going on? What have I been doing?
I'm saying what you're doing?
Yeah.
Loydeen has been working at the Taylor Swift concert.
And if you're on video, you get to see all my Swiftie bracelets that the other fans have been giving me. Not fun.
Trading.
We have All Too Well, the LA Eras Tour. We have Virginity Rocks. Yep, that's what one gave me. Eras, Karma.
What's this blood one?
Bad Blood.
Oh, Bad Blood.
You're not a fan. I had to ask that. And a bunch of Peace, and then a bunch of other fun, just beady ones. So, yes, Swiftie, T-Swift. It's the most epic concert of the year.
And I am a T-Swift fan because she is...
You're Swiftie?
Well, I mean, I am a Taylor Swift fan because she is a huge ally for the LGBTQ community, and it's...
They're called Swiftie, baby.
I know, but I think in order to be a Swiftie, I would have to know all the lyrics. I mean, I've been watching Abby Wambach learn all the lyrics, and that's amazing. Have you watched her do this?
No, I need to though. Celebrities are magic. Definitely showing up to the concerts. It is. I'm about to get to sit and see it right now. I've just been working and watching the pre-shows, it is. I mean, everything I've seen, it is epic. Yeah. Badass. Life-changing.
Well, the Swifties have caused 2.3 magnitude seismic events. Yeah.
True. I didn't even know that was possible. Did you guys know you would cause... I did not.
Yeah, I mean, so it is not only a cultural phenomenon.
They caused earthquakes.
Yeah. 2.3 seismic activity up in Washington.
Yeah.
Because of their screaming and shouting and jumping. And
I don't know if that says something about Washington-specific Swifties or if it says something about Washington-specific stadium building codes.
Could probably be both.
That we should talk about. All right. Well, so yeah, she's very an ally, and she does a piece of her concert. She does the "Are You Okay?" and does like a truncated version, and then has everyone light up their Capital One bracelets, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah,
it is, and you can hear it for miles, and even see the bracelets from out of the stadium, the whole stadium lit up, and it is
amazing.
And so many seeing the queer folks show up to the concert and holding signs that say "Are you okay?" and in rainbow. There's a 70, maybe 80-year-old grandma that had rainbow tights and the rainbow tutu and the "Are you okay?" sign, and I'm wearing the hat right now.
Yeah, the flag.
Rolling Stones flag lips situation.
But it's not Rolling Stones.
It's kind of like it though. You know the lips.
There's lips biting. She has a hat on that has rainbow lips
biting. Does it remind you of that?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Anyways, and then I wear my Heart Swiftie glasses. And
so Loydeen's been living it up, just having a blast.
And then before that it was VidCon. And then after that it was... What did I do? Vampire.
Oh, yeah.
Olivia Rodrigo music video. Yeah, so I've been getting to work some cool things. The daughters are jealous. Yeah.
Definitely jealous of the T-Swift situation.
And Olivia Rodrigo. Yeah.
Definitely.
Huge fans. But they got to go to VidCon. We're trying for the Taylor Swift. We got 2 more nights to figure it out for them. See if they can join me. But and then and big news on the coming out front. You were the one that told me was really excited, so you should be the one to...
You mean Gabby?
Gabby.
So Gabby is just my favorite.
We are huge Gabby fans.
She is...
when I was trying to talk the other day, remember the last episode when I was trying to say she really does like Bachelorette. Bachelorette specifically is one of her favorites. And some of the Bachelors and Bachelor in Paradise. And her favorite Bachelorette to watch was Gabby.
Who doesn't... What's not to like? I mean, when you watch Gabby, she's delightful.
And then when she came out,
Yeah, so she came out. So she is currently dating a woman, and she's put on her post
Badass.
I'm a girl's girl,
Right.
and just very cute, very flirty, very
always someone
fun.
a girl's girl. Yeah.
Just fun. I mean, I think what's interesting to me is, we talk about how representation is important, right? And you would think that as a mom and a person, I've been out for ever, and it's just not something that you would think would be that meaningful to me anymore. But man, it really matters. It just really does. And also, I mean, I think it's fun that Gabby's having some fun with it. She's being like flirty, and it's not this big. It's not so serious. And again, it's this idea that you can just be gay. And it's okay. I mean, Ellen's been saying it forever, right?
Gay.
Be gay and it's okay. And Ellen's been saying it. She said it for a long time.
Nike, and our motto is be gay.
Well, I mean, let's not.
I mean, one of your favorite songs is Great Big World.
Everybody's gay.
Everybody's gay. Yeah.
Don't get us wrong, all of you people that are worried about a gay agenda. We don't really have one. It's just nice that people are starting to experience
Who is worried
the
about
fluidity
a gay agenda?
of. Oh, so many people are worried about a gay agenda.
I mean, who of our? I mean, who?
You sound like an owl.
Who of our people out here is worried about a gay agenda, please? Gay agenda, schmenda. Be gay.
No, I think though, that there is that criticism still present, that we're like trying to convert people or whatever.
I know.
But I think that there is a difference, right, between having that intent and just being authentic
exactly.
and yourself and out, and how powerful and important that is, because when you are your authentic self, when all of your pieces are out to play at the same time, and you are just living your life.
Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of like a big deal in Bachelor Nation, because I mean, Bachelor Nation, there have been several now with the big come out.
That's right, because Demi, who is one of my favorites from Bachelor in Paradise,
yes,
and she had that totally cute story. See, it's true. I'm kind of closet.
Yeah,
Bachelor
I
Nation.
tried to tell you guys, and she was all blah, blah, blah. Okay. So then there was Becca Tilley, and she was one of my favorites. You didn't watch
her season.
Yeah, I think that was pre-us.
Yeah,
and she came out and said that she had been, dating Haley Kiyoko, and like a big deal. And then
lesbian Jesus,
and who her fans call her the lesbian Jesus. I just found that out tonight.
Yep.
I definitely got to dig more into that. And we learned at church this week something really interesting.
Yes.
We always share good news at church, and one of the good news at church, what was it, babe?
Well, there is a drag queen who was a former worship leader in her church, and she has put out an album that is right now topping the Christian charts.
The Christian charts. Weeks.
She goes by the moniker Flamey Grant, which is a take on Amy Grant for those of you that...
Flamey Grant, amazing. Check out her songs and music.
Yeah, we should put something up.
The best part is, I was like, when this was announced, I was like, I have to look into how the hell did this happen? And the story is even better. I mean, there was a
conservative pastor.
Yeah, like...
who just could not help himself.
Bible Belt pastor that basically was like... I think it was Bible Belt. And her album is Bible Belt Baby, by the way.
Yes.
So that even made it better. If you're listening, that is our...
Kitten.
Kitten. I mean, if you're watching or listening. But if you're listening, you're definitely just hearing random meows. Thanks for the tidbit, Aspen. So Flamey Grant saw a tweet that he had put out basically saying, that she has the gay agenda, and more specifically the deconstruction Christian
agenda.
Yeah, the deconstruction that he, was like, it's heretic and blah, blah, blah. And so he said, if you want to know, their end goal, this is it. And she wrote back, end goal, we're just getting started, baby. And then he wrote back this really mean thing about basically, well, no one even listens to you, so good for us that you're not even listened to, no one cares about you, and then, you're going to have to sit in front of Jesus and basically, burn in hell, and like, it was just, ugh. And So, you know, it was funny because he said, because you're forcing, you know.
Your perversion on kids.
And I was like.
For some, we don't really understand.
Which basically, I guess because she's, you know, putting out music that kids want to listen to. I guess that's I mean, whatever. It was so ridiculous. And so she went and told her fans that he
said no one was listening to her.
And that doesn't think that she should, you know, be on the charts. And so her fans got her song #1 on the Christian charts.
And now her album has been
her album went
sitting there for weeks.
I mean, it is just
it's pretty amazing.
The most perfect story.
Anyway, so Flamey Grant, check her out, look her up.
Yeah.
That was some serious good news at church the other day.
Yeah, that was a fun share.
Yeah. And then Colton, of course, right?
Colton. So yeah, Colton.
Took his
he
whole
got
journey
like
together.
He got a lot of. He went through it on his a lot of clapback, but then he put out his TV show, and I was like, you know, am I gonna watch it? Am I gonna like it? And I of course watched it, and I actually fell in love with Colton because of that show, and I think you should give it a chance and really watch it if you have not. If you've been like, you know,
hesitant
on the frustrated camp,
yeah.
I think it's worth. Let me know what you think, but I think it's worth actually watching his show. I think it's really vulnerable and really authentic. I think.
And I think so. I didn't see Colton's season. You showed me a few highlights before we watched his show about his life after and the journey to come out and. To find and be with men.
Yeah.
And I think
he just got married, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
It's exciting.
And I think what's interesting about Bachelor Nation though is that it's an entire community of people that are so in love with love. Just genuinely so in love with love. And so if they feel like it's genuine and real and it's really, you know, someone is just kind of bearing their soul and their heart, they just love them.
Yeah.
And I think that was what was amazing for me about Demi's story in Bachelor in Paradise because she was really missing her person who happened to be a woman and they brought her on. And, you know, because... You know, for a completely heterosexual dating show for however 2.5 decades, to just be like, oh, and now you're gay? Fantastic. Let's go. That's kind of remarkable and important, you know? And, like, again, it's just this idea that, like, this is a whole community of people that are in love with love. And they are just recognizing now in droves that this is just love. And why do we have to differentiate between same-sex love and heterosexual love? And, you know, somebody just came out as pansexual today. I can't remember who it was. Oh, he's that guy from, he was a talk show host or something. Anyway, but it's just this thing, right? This, like, people are just people.
Yeah. And worship leaders, and, I mean...
Yes.
It's amazing. Yeah, so there's a lot.
Yeah, it feels like a lot lately.
Yeah, I love it. Keep it coming. It's amazing. Like, just be authentic.
Yeah.
Be you. I love when people don't have to hide.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's important. So, and then you had this interesting idea. After church, we were having a talk, and you had this idea that we'll explore more in the future, but it kind of tied into this.
Oh, Allied Day?
Yeah.
So, you know how we always have Coming Out Day every year? There's a National Coming Out Day in October. And, well, it's in October this year. I don't know if it has been
coming
always,
up in October this year.
And, so we'll talk about this more because we're kind of still exploring it. But it's this, both of us have gone through the process of coming out, right? And both of us came from extremely conservative Christian communities and families. And we got to a point in our coming out journey, both of us, with certain people where we were just like, and I just never reached back out again because I just figured it was never, it wasn't going to be a thing, right? Like they were going to have a problem. And it is very painful, right? Like you kind of run a 50-50 shot with coming out to someone who is conservative or Christian or, unless they have specifically embraced this idea that, like an affirming Christian worldview, or that God loves the gays and not just the sinner, but all of it, right? you just run into a lot of instances with people where they think they have to teach you, they have to stand against it, they have to say their piece, you know, because they feel like this is a moment where they have to proselytize.
Well, we came up on that where, you know, sending out invitations
For the wedding.
Yeah.
Well, but I do think that, like, you kind of...
I guess I came against that in mine, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had pretty much weeded all those people out.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had, instead of just like a response of, you know, I mean, especially when it's a destination wedding, right? So it's easy to just be like, you can't come, you know, I mean, so it's
easy to say, like, oh, I'm so sorry,
and it was like on the other
congratulations.
side of the world, like it wasn't even like, you know, close, like Mexico or something. So instead of just being that, or just either not RSVPing or RSVPing and just saying, you know, like, sorry, we can't make it, or we're not gonna be able to make it, not even sorry. But instead, there was ones that felt that they had to make a point of,
I don't agree with this.
like,
I can't be a part of it.
you know, and they'd been in my life, and since I've come out and stayed in my life and met Heidi and never said anything, but then for some reason when it came to that, then they felt they had to, you know, make a statement, like I guess you could tell they didn't believe they were being a Christian if they didn't make this statement. And, you know, they even would say things like, I should have said this before. And and then this big, you know, statement, and then it ends with, but I'm really glad that you're happy and in love, and I wish you and Heidi and the best and the kids, and I hope you guys have love and enjoy life and everything goes great. And I'm like it's really funny to me because the whole thing is about how I should have told you this before, and then I don't agree with this, and I'm against it, and, you know, basically I shouldn't be doing this, but then it's like, but I hope you guys are happy and in love and make it, and I'm like, so, but you don't, and I always laugh because I'm like, do they just expect me to read the text and then be like, just call off my engagement? Like, sorry, Heidi, I just got a text, and, you know, this friend doesn't think I should do this, so we're done. I mean, like, I know they don't actually think, but they just want to check off their list or the box of, all right, I did the Christian thing. Yeah. I said something, I warned, now it's not on me.
Well, and I mean, we haven't talked about this very much because we try to stay very positive, but self-righteousness is one of my biggest problems with people who hide behind religiosity, which I think is what they're doing when they do those kinds of things, right? Like, you know, be a Christian and love Jesus, right? There's no boxes to check. You know, if you love Jesus and you believe in him, you're a Christian. There you go. Stop checking boxes. You're done. There are no more boxes to check, everybody. Yeah. But if you feel like you have to check a box, maybe don't do that with people who grew up in the Christian church and have probably already checked those boxes, right? So it's just not accomplishing what they think it's going to accomplish. It is not sending a message of love and acceptance. But anyway, all of that to say, when we were discussing it, I thought, you know, what would it be like to have a day where, after we've come out, right, after we've celebrated National Coming Out, and we do that as an act of not only solidarity, but an act of resistance, right? Like, look, there are people in your life, faces that you love, humans that you cherish, and they're gay, and that's okay, and you still love them and you still cherish them, right? And that is what coming out does, right? Is it shows the people around you, the ones that maybe are startled by the fact that they love someone who's gay, right? That it's okay to love someone who's gay. And I just thought, what a gift to the gay community if there was an Allies Day, where those people who had previously espoused,
or not even previously, I mean, we for years, every time we have a conversation and we talk about someone in our past and be like, oh, whatever happened with them, and I'll, you know, one of us will, you know, I'll be like, well, you know, I just came out, and then kind of, if they were people that I knew from church that I was really involved with, them, then I would just
let them go,
let them come to me, and if they didn't, then I would just assume like, oh, you know, they just want it at arm's length. And so I would just let these people grow apart. And for both of us, we have, on some of that, it was because it was real, right? And then other ones, it was that they maybe there was either just regular growing apart, or they just didn't know how to bridge that, or maybe time has changed that. Whatever it is, there's a lot of people that now we come in contact with that want to be in our lives and want to hear from us and love us and want to follow us and love our love story, and that's a lot of years of lost time of getting, when there was somebody you care about in your life, and then you just kind of, I don't know if I should talk to them about it, so I just, because they weren't people like, I wrote my family letters, right? It wasn't coming out to them like that. It was more like, it became obvious on social media, right?
Yeah.
So they could have reached out, or they could just watch it and not, I don't know how they're feeling about it, and I don't check on it, and we just kind of grow apart. And it'd be nice if, I love when all of them come back in my life. I love the ones that I, have connected with. But there's so many more out there, and for the person coming out, that's a lot of people that you have to keep having that conversation with, and you have to keep risking and checking in and wondering,
do they still love me, or is this going to be one of those really bad conversations? Is it going to be painful? Is it going to hurt?
So then you just spread it out over years, and then that's fine if that's how they, I don't know, that's fine, that's how they feel, but they get to make that decision. But the thing is, I don't want to lose time, and I don't want people to have to lose time with loved ones when, especially as the world's opening up so much, there's so many people that they just will love you, and you think that maybe they don't want to, so if they can just have a day, I thought it was a great idea where they can just,
announce
even
it.
If they just go on your social media, or they send you a private message, or they give you a text, or
Well, it's just, so we're still working this out, right? There's a ton of kinks in it, but kind of...
It's just a concept.
Trying to start a movement where maybe our allies all have one day where they just give a big gay hug out into the ether, and we can walk into that hug maybe and find ourselves, back in some relationships that might surprise us, right? Anyway, we'll talk about it when we're not still thinking out loud about it, right? Like when we've kind of thought more.
But it's important that,
Well, and I've been blessed recently, to have someone come back and just be like, you really misread it. I would have loved to have been a part of your life this whole time. And there's an ache in that, right? There's an ache in having lost all those years. And it really is, I think, over time, you just get tired of, well, I'm about to come out again. And it might be painful, and we don't talk a lot about my job because it's not very exciting, but like as a lawyer, right, and I practice family law.
Your job's pretty exciting.
Oh, thank you. And but a lot of times I worry with a client, right? Like if I talk about my wife, or if I say this is my life, are they going to be, so I just don't. I don't mention it. I don't talk about it. I don't. And then, eventually you do get to know. But I think people don't realize that there is almost a perpetual coming out that you do as a gay person. And it would be nice to not have to.
You
all
say
the time.
It quite often, though. It's very impressive. You say almost, my wife to your clients all the time.
Yeah, that's intentional. Anyway, so it's something that we're thinking about over here a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially with all of the, coming out that's happening around us.
Yeah, and even Gabby said, like, I'm going to get off social media and off DMs because I know that social media can be mean. And, and Chriselle went through that when...
G-flip.
I'm a big G-flip Chriselle. I think I've already mentioned that. So she went through that, and I just saw an article, way after Becca that she, talked to, I have to see what was People or someone, but about, the aftermath of coming out. And there shouldn't be an aftermath of just coming out and saying, this is who I am, and this is who I love, and being genuine and just like letting someone into your private world. There should not be aftermath. Like, I'm already mad that was what she had to talk about. But so that's why allies are important.
Yeah, allies are everything.
Yeah,
they really are.
So that's that. We'll just keep telling you.
Yeah, more and more. We're just gonna kind of keep putting it out there, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
And taking this journey with us.
100%.
We have. Are we talking about some exciting stuff next?
Oh, I was going to tell him, since we were talking about The Bachelor, that Heidi and I got, you always hear about how people get these like special secret tickets to go watch The Bachelor. I mean, I never really understood how you're gonna go watch it, but I've never watched any of the live tapings. But all of a sudden I got this invite that said it's top secret. Like, I can't even say when or where, but we are going to go watch, I think I'm allowed to say what? The Golden Bachelor.
Which, by the way, how badass is that?
The Golden Bachelor.
The Golden Bachelor? Come on.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a secret taping.
Yeah.
So more on that later.
When we're allowed.
All right, everyone, we love you.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.